Hi, I'm Greg Hessel, and I've spent the last 2.5 decades helping organizations learn, grow, and get unstuck. And in that time, I've learned an awful lot about what makes organizations more effective. But when I work with groups, I don't use a rigid methodology. Instead, I try to engage them in conversations about real challenges in their lives and how they show up in those challenges. This is a training that I did on style differences. In this video, I use different letters to refer to some of the ways we're all wired differently. I hope you enjoy it. So a lot of us learned the golden rule growing up, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. What's the problem with the golden rule?
They don't want the same thing.
They don't want to be. The golden rule is completely self-referential. And we assume people want to be treated the way we want to be treated, but often they don't. Right? So I teach the platinum rule. Do unto others as they would have you do unto them. We have to learn about differences, right? And that's going to make us more effective.
I would make a joke and probably start a conversation that lighten the mood.
Yes, the E's sometimes get in and sometimes don't. But it's if you get in, you're connecting with people, right? It's like there's a captive audience, and I can lighten the load, and so we'll have a conversation. The D's, if they get in, are kind of going through their checklist. Probably.
How many people are allowed on this thing?
That's a C.
That's a C question. Perfect. The C's, and there's only like 3 or 4 of you. Raise your hand if you're a C. Yeah. How many of you think about the weight limit of the elevator? You think of the weight limit, and it's crazy, right? It's crazy because, like, when I used to not ask that question, I was like, nobody thinks of the weight limit. And every time the C's are like, yeah, actually, I kind of do think of the weight limit, right? Might say, don't we have a policy about that? Right? Because the policy tells you what the answer is.
Lazy people, staff turnover. We did really good on the stressful side. Self-initiation, lack of common sense, go fix yourself. Lack of clarity, lack of training, or forgetting what they've been trained in.
Okay, like maybe the policies.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like y'all have something to say here. Let's say it.
That was pretty direct, right? They were just speaking about themselves. They weren't speaking about it. Yeah. So the C's are like S's in that they tend to not be expressive. Working alone is okay. Too many interruptions. It's like, what are you doing here, right? Particularly the S's. When you talk, they can, they love listening. You love talking. It's a match made in heaven. Until they start resenting it, but they're not going to tell you. Right? Okay, let's go with what breaks your trust?
Not following through on something you said you were going to do.
Not doing what you said you were going to do. Yep, perfect. That's a D answer. What breaks your trust?
I would echo that.
Yeah, but you would often, the C group would add doing it well, right?
That's a given.
Yes. Yeah, and so this might be a surprise to you, but for other groups, sometimes good enough is good enough. Highlight a couple of those. So first of all, as this group said, in overuse, strength is a weakness, right? In overuse, strength, empathy is absolutely a strength. Listening is absolutely a strength. But if all we do is listen, it becomes a weakness. Get yourself, like, they sometimes need to think outside the box a little bit. You need to realize there is a box. Right?
And my box be round.
Hey, but there's a box, right?